because words hurt. You know, anybody that says words hurt has never been punched in the face. Way more than he hurt me, okay? Okay? And by the way, he does that shit. Everybody in the world called him a bitch.
Talk about outrage? Well, looks like Chris Rock wasn't holding back the least bit against the Smiths, as his latest show basically exposed some alleged secrets that Will and Jada didn't exactly want to get out. And now Jada might just be out to get her revenge. Big question is, what exactly has Jada said, and how did things with the Smiths and Rock even get this bad? There's a lot more to this story than you'd expect, so buckle up.
Been cheated on. Everybody in here has been cheated on. None of us have ever been interviewed by the person that cheated on us on television.
To say Chris Rock's show was full of jabs at the Smiths would be a light way to describe what went down in the show, as the comedian went all out against his one-time friends at his latest appearance. Yup, that's right. On Saturday, Rock headlined Netflix's first ever live-streamed event, a comedy special called Chris Rock Selective Outrage, a title he revealed to be a connection to Will. Though he said he grew up loving and rooting for Will, Rock took time in his routine to slam him and his marriage. But Rock didn't only touch on the man that smacked him in front of the entire world. Oh no. The comedian also used the set to make a claim about Smith's wife, Pinkett Smith. According to Rock, the Girls Trip actor attempted to force him to quit hosting the Oscars in 2016 because her husband didn't get a Best Actor nomination. Years ago, his wife said I should quit the Oscars. I shouldn't host cause her man didn't get nominated for concussion. And then he gives me a effing concussion, Rock quipped. The comedian was referring to an incident from 2016 when Jada announced to the world that she was boycotting the Oscars because she believed the Academy had been discriminatory in their list of nominees that year. But we'll pick that up in a bit because that wasn't even the highlight of his jabs against the actress. While talking about the Smiths, Rock brought up their marriage and spoke about some news that made the headlines last year about Jada being involved with one of Jaden's friends.
And his wife was her son's friend, okay? Now, I normally would not talk about this shit.
Will Smith practices selective outrage, said Rock in his stand-up routine, adding of the Oscar slap. Everybody that really knows I had nothing to do with that S. I didn't have any entanglements. Rock was referring to back in July 2020 when Jada opened up about having an entanglement with singer August Alsina years ago while she and Will were on a break. She explained at the time that she and Will eventually were able to repair their relationship, saying at the time, "We have really gotten to that new place of unconditional love." The couple, who wed in 1997, did an episode of Jada's Red Table Talk show to discuss the situation. "We all been cheated on. Everybody in this industry has been cheated on." Joked Rock in the comedy special, "None of us have ever been interviewed by the person that cheated on us on television. None of us. Why the F would you do that S? She hurt him way more than he hurt me? Okay."
I have no idea why two talented people would do something that fucking low down. What the fuck?
But now, people are asking questions whether Rock was actually onto something or it was just jokes, and it turns out he was. In an interview that month with Angela Yee on YouTube, the singer claimed he had a relationship with Pinkett Smith, who he met through her and Will Smith's son Jaden. Back in 2015, "I totally gave myself to that relationship for years of my life, and I truly and really, really deeply love and have a ton of love for her." He said, "I devoted myself to it. I gave my full self to it, so much so to the point that I can die right now and be okay with knowing that I truly gave myself to somebody." On the July 10, 2020 episode of Red Table Talk, Pinkett Smith and her husband sat down to discuss her relationship with Alsina, which she revealed took place years ago, while she and Smith were briefly separated. 4.5 years ago, "I started a friendship with August and we actually became really, really good friends," she said. "And it all started with him just needing some help, me wanting to help his health, his mental state. We found all those different resources to help pull him through, and from there you and I were going through a very difficult time," she said, later clarifying that the pair decided that we were going to separate for a period of time. Although Pinkett Smith denied that her husband had given Alsina permission to carry on the relationship, explaining that the only person that can give permission in that circumstance is myself. She clarified that she thought the singer was trying to make it clear he's not a homewrecker because he's not. However, this was just more fuel for Chris to attack Will Smith even more, as the comedian went on to say that everybody in the world called Will a bitch after the entanglement news, and he said he tried to reach out to him about it but claimed Will didn't pick up. The comedian then went on to repeatedly call Will a bitch. He then joked, "Everybody, and who's he hit? Me? A hand? He knows he can beat. That is some bitch ass."
A lot of people go, "Chris, how come you didn't do nothing back? How come you didn't do nothing back that night?" Because I got parents. That's why. Because I was raised.
The comedian said he did nothing to Will before bringing up when Jada was boycotting the Academy Awards in 2016 during the #Oscars backlash and called on Rock to not host the show. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, she said in a video explaining why she chose that approach, has the right to acknowledge whomever it chooses and to invite whomever it chooses. However, she added, maybe it is time that we pull back our resources and we put them back into our communities, into our programs, and we make programs for ourselves that acknowledge us in ways that we see fit that are just as good as the so-called mainstream ones. I don't know. In the same video, she also threw jabs at Chris, saying, "Hey Chris," Pinkett Smith said, addressing 2016 show host Chris Rock, "I won't be at the Academy Awards, and I won't be watching. But I can't think of a better man to do the job at hand this year than you, my friend." However, Rock seems to believe the main reason she even brought it up at all was because Will was not nominated for the film Concussion that year. And in his Oscars monologue that year, Rock made fun of Jada, saying she can't boycott something she wasn't invited to. In his words, "I did some jokes about her. Who gives a F? That's how it is. She starts it, I finish it," Rock said. "That's what the F happened. Nobody's picking on this bitch. She started this S. Nobody was picking on her." Rock went on to say he didn't react or respond physically at last year's Oscars because I was raised. He added, "You know what my parents taught me. Don't fight in front of white people." Rock then dropped the mic and got a standing ovation before walking off stage. To a lot of fans, this was the height of disrespect from Chris to the entire Smith family, and they didn't hold back on calling the comedian out. Since last year's Oscars incident, Smith has publicly apologized for the outburst and resigned from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, which also banned him from attending its events for 10 years. Jada, for her part, also addressed the Oscars moment during an episode of Red Table Talk back in June, saying her deepest hope is that these two intelligent, capable men have an opportunity to heal, talk this out, and reconcile. Then, in July, Smith shared a video apology on his social media, shedding more light on that night and explaining that he has tried to reach out to Rock. Smith also spoke about the Oscars while on his press tour for Emancipation in November, including an emotional interview with Trevor Noah on The Daily Show. He said in his video, "I've reached out to Chris and the message that came back is that he's not ready to talk. And when he is, he will reach out. So I will say to you, Chris, I apologize to you. My behavior was unacceptable, and I'm here whenever you're ready to talk." From how things have gone since then, it's pretty clear that Chris wasn't as good with how things went down as it appeared. But did he really have to go that hard against the Smiths? That's it for this video. Goodbye.